Hey guys, Brad from simpleguitar.com here. Now, if you've been playing guitar for a little bit and you feel stuck in the box, which is the minor pentatonic box, which is one of the first scales that most guitar players learn when they're starting out. If you feel stuck in that box, today I'm gonna help you break out of the box. And in fact, if you haven't even learned that yet, we're gonna prevent you from ever feeling stuck in the box so that you can play all over the fretboard, and it's gonna make life so much easier. Now, this is a very simple solution, and it's looking at scales a different way. Now, most people will look at scales just across strings this way. I call that horizontal movement. I guess you could call it vertical movement. Whatever it is, when you're going across strings, I refer to that as a horizontal pattern. The problem is your 5 basic pentatonic shapes are all horizontal patterns, and most people will get stuck in those patterns and in those 5 boxes. Now, if you don't know those 5 boxes yet, that's okay. It is something that I do think you should learn. However, what I'm going to show you today is way better to start with, way easier to start with, and you're going to be able to be musical and creative right off the bat and feel like a rock star because you're moving all over the fretboard and not just staying around the same 3 frets. So what is this solution? The solution is technically called the diagonal minor pentatonic scale. I call this the instant rock star scale because once you learn it, once you can play it, you are instantly able to sound and feel like a rock star whenever you're playing lead guitar. In fact, I have an entire course that goes a lot deeper into this scale and holds your hand through the whole process of getting it down, playing it in every key, soloing with it, doing all that stuff. Well, I'll talk about that more at the end. So let's show you how to play that. Now, your standard minor pentatonic box shape, usually everybody does this in the key of A, looks like this. You're gonna do 2 notes per string, and that is using your first finger on 5 on your 5th string, which is an A note. And then your pinky or your 3rd finger playing 8 on that string, which is a C note. Then we shift strings. We're going to go to the A string and play your 5th fret with your 1st finger, which is D. And then your 7th fret with your 3rd finger, which is E. And then we're going to go to the next string and play G with your 1st finger on the 5th fret. And then A on the 7th fret with your 3rd finger. And then we're going to go to the next string and play C on the 5th fret with your 1st finger. And then D with your 3rd finger on the 7th fret. And then next string, we're going to play E with your 1st finger on the 5th fret. And then we're going to play G with your pinky on the 8th fret on the 2nd string. And then on your 1st string, we're going to play A with your 1st finger again on the 5th fret. Just like on your low E string, they mirror, okay? And then the last note is that C with your pinky on the 8th fret. So that is it. It's 5 notes, A, C, D, E, G. And we're just repeating A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C. And then you can go backwards too. Okay, that is the standard minor pentatonic box shape. Now, you do need to learn it, but I like to have people skip it in the beginning because what I'm going to show you is easier. It's only your 1st finger and your 3rd finger. It's one very simple pattern, and it's going to go across the entire fretboard. So let's show you how to do that. Rather than starting with your 1st finger here on your A note, what we're going to do is you're actually going to scoot your 1st finger down to a G note, okay? And I want your 1st finger to play the G note on the 3rd fret of your 6th string. And then your 3rd finger is actually going to be what plays the root, okay? So your 3rd finger is going to play the A on your 6th string. That is your home bass note now. Now, we have our G, we have our A, we need to get C, D, and E. So on your 5th string, we're going to change strings. And we're going to do your C on your 3rd fret with your 1st finger. Your D on the 5th fret with your 3rd finger. And then we're going to slide that 3rd finger up 2 frets to your 7th fret. And that is your E note. And there we have all 5 notes of the scale. We have our G, we have A, we have C, we have D, and we have E. Okay? Now, when you play that, you want to play that going up and then play it coming down. But when you end, land on that A note, and that's going to make it sound like it's at home. It feels good. It feels stable. Okay. That A note is your home. So wherever you put your 3rd finger is going to be your root note for that. Now, two things to point out. One, on your 6th string, we're playing 2 notes, okay? That's a 2-note pattern. It's a whole step. We're playing G, then we're going a whole step and playing A. On the next string, on your 5th string, you're going to play a 3-note pattern. We're playing your C with your 1st finger, your D with your 3rd, and then sliding that up to the 3rd note, 2 frets, up to E, okay? Now, here's the thing. That pattern of playing 2 notes and then 3 notes is the key to this whole scale, okay? Because what we're going to do is on the next string, we're going to repeat our 2 notes. Because right there on the 5th fret of your 4th string with your 1st finger is a G note, and then you're going to play your A with your 3rd finger on the 7th fret. Then that's our 2 notes, so we're going to switch strings, and we're going to play your D note right there. Sorry, your C note on your 5th fret of your 3rd string with your 1st finger, D with your 3rd finger on the 7th fret, and then slide up to 9 for your E note. So we just found the exact same 5 notes, but in a different position. But visually on the fretboard, it's the exact same pattern. We're playing 2 notes for G and A, and then we play C, D, E, which is our 3-note pattern. So we have a 2-note pattern, and we have a 3-note pattern. So let's look at both of these put together. We're going to start on your 6th string and play 2 notes. That's your root, and then 3 notes. And then on the 4th string, we're going to play 2 notes. And on the 3rd string, 3 notes. Now, if you need to pause right now and run through both of those for a minute, that's okay. Go right ahead and do that and then come back. Now I'm going to assume you're ready. Now let's move on to the last set. What we're going to do is we're going to do this on your 2nd string and your 1st string as well. Now check this out. What we're doing is when we get up to 7 and 9 on your 3rd string, whenever we get to the 2nd string is tuned to a different interval than your other strings. And so it throws everything for a loop. So we have to shift everything up 1 fret, 1/2 step because of that. So rather than getting to 7 and 9 on your 3rd string, and then our 2-note pattern picking up on 7 and 9 on the B string, we actually have to shift it up. And instead of playing 7, you're going to shift up to 8 with your 1st finger and play, that's your G. And then we're going to play 10, your A note, with your 3rd finger on the B string on the 10th fret. And then on the next string, we're going to play C on the 8th fret with your 1st, D on the 10th with your 3rd, and slide up to E on the 12th fret, okay? So check that out. That's the same pattern. We have 2 notes on your 2nd string with G and A, and then on your 1st string, we have C, D, E, okay? So that is the exact same pattern. Now, here's the cool thing about this. We started all the way down here on your 3rd fret on your 6th string, and then we ended up here on the 12th fret on your 1st string. So we covered this much ground on your fretboard rather than staying right here, right? This is the range that most people get stuck in and feel like they're stuck in a box. But we just broke out of that box and we did this, okay? Now, that was a simple pattern. It's a simple 5-note pattern. The only thing to remember is your root note is whatever note your 3rd finger plays in your 2-note group, okay? Whatever note that is your root note. That will tell you what key you're in. That will name the scale that you're in. So since this note right here that we first played on the 6th string is A, we're in the A minor pentatonic scale. Now, check out what this looks like playing it all the way up and down. That is it. You cover a lot of ground. And this is so much simpler, so much easier to learn than 5 different pentatonic box shapes when you're first starting out, okay? Now, should you learn those other 5 box shapes? Absolutely. You're going to find songs use licks and play stuff from those box shapes all the time. But you're also going to find the more solos that you learn, you're playing this diagonal pentatonic stuff all the time. But I have found over the years, not only is this easier for students to grasp first, it's easier to get musical and to sound creative right away. Now, I owe this to my dad because my dad, who is a self-taught guitar player, grew up playing in the 60s and the 70s. He had to learn everything by ear, by moving the record needle back to the beginning and repeating and doing all that. This is the one scale that he taught me when I was first starting playing out like 20 years ago, okay? No, almost 25 years ago. Holy crap. That's crazy. 24. It was like 1999, 98 when I started playing. So somewhere around there. Okay. This is the one scale that my dad taught me that he had learned by learning and playing tons of songs and seeing this pop up all over the place. This is the most useful, most important scale when it comes to playing lead guitar, in my opinion. Okay. Now let's dive just a little bit deeper and I'll show you why this works. Okay. This comes from and spans all of your different pentatonic box shapes. Okay, it touches all of them with what we just did. And the beautiful thing is that you can start this on any A note, okay, or any other note. You just shift the pattern, keep the pattern the same. But we only have a few minutes in this format, so if you want to go deeper, I do have a course on this. I'll give you some details at the end that you can go check that course out and see if it's a good fit for you. But check this out. Where we started down here, this G and A, that is actually box pattern number 5, okay? Where you would normally play this. You'd play this. So we play the first 2 strings of that, and we slide up into shape number 1, your home base for standard minor pentatonic, which is this. And then we move through that. And then we slide up into pattern number 2, which would come from this. And then we continue through that, through pattern 2. And there we move into pattern 3 and touch the very bottom of pattern number 4, where we're doing this. And pattern 4 would be this. And so we're essentially touching all 5 of those with one scale. And then we can connect the rest of those dots later. But this gets you all the way across the fretboard, gets you doing all of that, and you only have one thing to learn. So there it is, guys. This is the minor pentatonic scale that I like to start people out with because it's so much easier to get creative, to be musical, and you never feel like you're stuck in a box because you're moving all over the fretboard the entire time. It is the most important, most useful guitar scale that there is out there. And I know the pentatonic scale gets a lot of hate from people, and maybe we're going to have to do a video about how you can tie the pentatonic scale into any major or minor mode. You can add one note to it to make it any mode that you want. It's so much easier. But the more songs that you play, the more things that you analyze, the more melodies that you learn, the more solos that you learn, you're going to find 98% of what people are doing, whether it's writing melodies or playing solos or whatever, is this scale. That's just what it is. It's worked forever. Okay, even if you go back into classical and lots of jazz stuff, you're going to find this scale covers a lot of stuff. In fact, this is the framework I use if I need to figure out the melody to a song. This is the scale that I use all the time because it is so commonly used for stuff. So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that getting this scale down, this diagonal minor pentatonic scale, or the instant rockstar scale as I like to call it, I hope that makes it easier for you to play lead, to get out of the box and to get all over the fretboard and have some fun feeling like a rock star because you're playing like one, okay? If that was helpful for you, like I said, I do have a course on this scale that goes deeper, goes into more detail, does the practice with you, holds your hand through the whole process of learning the scale and getting it down across the entire fretboard. And you can go check that out at simpleguitar.com/instant rockstar scale. If you go there, you can learn more about this. You can see if that course is going to be a good fit for you. And there's 2 versions. There's the basic version that goes through how to play this in major and minor keys and play it all over the fretboard. And then there's also the VIP version, which the VIP version has extra master classes. And I've actually got like 4 more that I'm planning on adding to it really soon. And so if you get the VIP version, you'll get access to those new classes too. The VIP version goes even deeper behind why the scale works and how to do stuff that's not all in the same key. What if you have a chord progression that borrows chords from other keys? How do you do that? You know, that VIP stuff covers that, and it makes it so much more useful. And I've had a lot of people having big light bulbs from those. So go to simpleguitar.com/instant rockstar scale. Check that out. But if you feel like that course is not a fit for you, go to simpleguitar.com/top10. And right there, you can get my free guide called the Top 10 Things to Learn on Guitar First. And that will get you up and running. And that will actually lead you to my beginner jumpstart course, which will help you get ready so that when you get through that course, you are totally ready for the instant rockstar scale, ready to start playing lead guitar and soloing, having fun with that. So go to simpleguitar.com/top10 to get that free guide and have fun with all the stuff in that. Now, if you liked this video, go check out this next video right here about the major version of this instant rockstar scale, or the diagonal pentatonic scale, and I will catch you in the next video.